Hello and welcome to Office 365 training. My name is Dave Burchell and I'm a senior engineer here at Aperio-It. So in this video we're going to talk about how to configure Outlook. And this is assuming that everything's installed, you've gone through the installation of the Office suite, you're logged on, but this can be done at any point after you've done the installation. We're going to be using Microsoft Outlook 2013 to connect to email. And what we're going to do is we really kind of want to go through and make sure we don't have any old versions of Outlook on here. This might be a good idea to do even before you install anything else. It's just a nice clean start. Old versions of Outlook will work with Office 365. You just don't get the same type of experience, and you are paying most likely for this if you have the type of subscription that comes with Office 365 Pro Plus. If you have an Exchange Online Plan 1 where you only get email, then you have to use whatever Outlook you have, and hopefully that will be compatible. If you don't want to use your old version of Outlook, you want to go to Start and go to Control Panel, and depending on how your computer's set up and what version it is, you may see things by category. I always change this to show large icons, and then I go to Programs and Features, and this is for Windows 7, and when you go there you'll be able to highlight the program and click Uninstall. And once that's uninstalled and you now are then you've installed Office 365 per another video that I've posted, you can begin to use the programs, and one of the programs that we're going to use is Outlook. So if you click on Start and go to All Programs, and you go to Microsoft Office 2013, and you open up Outlook 2013. The first time you open Outlook, it's going to run a small wizard that's going to have you provide some information. We're going to click on Next to this message, and it's going to ask you, do you want to use Outlook to connect to an email account? And I think obviously yes, we do. And all we really have to do is just provide this information. So we're just going to give it a name. Again, this is your email address, your main domain that you're using. Again, for demo purposes, I've got something called a tenant domain here with the On Microsoft name. Now, yours will not have that. It'll have your real domain here. Go ahead and put your password in, and we're going to have to do it twice because it wants to make sure. And then we're going to go ahead and let it do something called Auto Discover. It's going to look for the settings. This is similar to what other devices do, your phones. As long as the records are set up correctly, which we do that as part of the process of moving, you will find the information. And of course it has found the information. The reason I know that is because it's asking me to authenticate. So I'm going to go ahead and authenticate, and it's going to make sure that this is correct here. Sometimes if you've been migrated off of your domain, this might say something else here. It might say, you know, you're doing something .local. You want to make sure that this does say your email address, and you're going to go ahead and put in your password. And then I always say remember my credentials so it doesn't bother you as much. So click OK, and it's going to continue to search, and once there are 3 green check marks, you're golden, you're ready to go. Now at this point we can make some changes. We might as well do this here. If you want to click Change Account Settings, we're going to click on Next. It's going to bring us to a screen where, you know, this is the name of the server, and it doesn't make a lot of sense as it's just a lot of numbers. But here's where an interesting thing that we can do is we can decide how much email to keep offline. Now by default it's set for 6 months, but let's say if you want more, you can click All. It'll do your entire everything in your mailbox, or you can go to the minimum, which is a month. I'm going to go ahead and do a minimum right now. And some of these other settings are more advanced, but once you've done that, you want to click on Finish. And Outlook will load up. Now remember, whatever you're using, there are things called add-ins. Some of those add-ins may or may not work with Office 2013. As part of your migration, we would have discovered that and have remediation for that. But it's going to load up all the add-ins, and it's going to open up Outlook for the first time. Now you notice that Outlook is blue now. If you're used to previous versions of it, it was orange, and again, I don't know why they made it blue, but the confusion between Word and whatever is pretty evident there. So if this is a brand new install, Outlook's going to come up, and you may or may not be familiar with this view. It looks very similar to Office 2010, even to some degree 2007, or if you're used to using this, then you'll be right at home. But I do notice that by default, to make more space, it does put this little condensed version of your folders here, and I normally like to click that and make the arrow show up. If you do have subfolders and you're used to an older version of Outlook, you'll notice that I don't have them here, but you notice that there will be little triangles instead of plus signs and boxes to expand the folder and to show what's underneath. They're a little bit difficult to see, and you want to be able to be clearly understand that your folders are there, they're all coming over. And if this was a mailbox that was pretty big and it was the first time, it would say, you know, we're updating this folder. Let's just say this is updating inbox. Once it's all done, it will say all folders up to date, or it might have a message that says Outlook is preparing for first time run. It's creating a local file on your computer that stores your copy of your email and that synchronizes that, a little bit like the OneDrive for Business app has always done. Now, one thing people always mention about how Office 2013 looks and they're not used to it, you can go in and make some changes. If you go to File, this is true with pretty much all the applications, you just do it here, it does it once. You go to Options, you can do a little bit here where you can put a little bit of a background. You can change the background to be dark gray. Gives it a little bit of contrast. It's a little hard to see on this, but it makes these boxes dark, but no more colors, at least at this point. The next version of Office, they are coming back with colors, and you can make this what you look like. The final thing I would like to show you in this video is resources where you can go and get some training for free and how to use these applications. Again, it's beyond the scope of these videos to teach you how to use Office, but if you are interested in learning how to better use the applications that you received as part of your package, then you can go and click on each one of these, and you'll be taken into a little bit of areas where you can watch some videos, and they'll show you how to really do some rather advanced work with Word, Excel, OneNote, etc., and Outlook. And I highly recommend that you do that. Again, if you just go in your search and you just type Office training, you'll be brought to this page. It's very valuable